Hello all, welcome to TeamLease Industry Dialogue. This time it's coming on a special day for us, March 8th, the Women's Day. And this time as a special edition, we have come out with the topic which are related to women. And to have a conversation on this particular topic, we have Dr. Rajni Tiwari along with us. And we'll straight away get on to the session part. Dr. Rajni, welcome to our session. Maybe a quick introduction about yourself will help all the audience to understand better.
Sure. So, hi, thank you very much, Subbu, for having me here. I am Dr. Rajni Tiwari by name, but by virtue of who I am or what I am passionate about, I am one of those representing the working mother clan and somebody who is working towards ensuring that each woman finds their own space. They don't remain like an echo and they find their own voice. And I currently work with an organization which is Green Cell Mobility. It's into EV buses. It is a part of the Honorable Prime Minister's, Viksit Bharat campaign. And we're very proud to be, working and moving in that direction where we are looking at the climate change and being more responsible. So this particular job is not just a job, it's an opportunity to do your own ikigai. It is a job which is passion with purpose, and that is what I am representing today. I've worked across industries. Just to give you a little brief on me, I am somebody who doesn't work with competition. So if I worked with a particular industry, I try to move the industry, move to another industry rather than concentrating on competition, because that is not something which I am very comfortable with. So that's about me. I love working with people and kind of developing people. It's more a motherly thing, which also comes across when you see people growing, when you see people getting feedback, when you see people doing so well in front of you. So it's like a coach who has seen so many successful players with them and at the same time basking in the success of their own team. So, it is why not? So that's the kind of job I do.
Superb, superb. Great knowing you, Dr. Rajni. In fact, your insights are going to be extremely helpful for the audience. Thank you so much. And let's actually begin the session. So this time we have actually, the topic that we have chosen is actually in line with the International Women's Day topic, Rajni. So women at work, accelerating action. That's a tagline word for this Women's Day, which has come from international alignment. Now, the word is very interesting, which is accelerating action. Now, we just want to understand from your perspective, and you heading the diversity and inclusion for an organization which is of specifically into the green cell mobility part. How do you find this inclusion actually been happening? And maybe over the last 10 years, how things have actually changed? What are your views on that, Raj?
So, see, this year's theme is very apt. It's good it is happening this year when you see so much change in the workforce, when you see so much of acceptance in the workforce. I would say that, I started DNI much before it became a KRA for a lot of CHROs. So this is something which I work very closely with. It's very close to my heart. And that is only to, help everybody find their own foothold. See, being a woman, it's not important that, you have the power of purse, but it is that financial literacy which tells you how to use that power of purse. How many women have been working for some time now, but how many women actually plan their investments? How many women actually know which shares are trading, what is happening? Handful. So the power of purse or accelerating action or changing everything at the workforce, it is all about you being empowerment, being empowered. It is also what we have. The theme for us at this year at Green Cell is I am enough. You as a woman are enough. You do not need people. We may need, like human beings, we need everybody's emotional support and moving around or social support, but for financial support, everyone to each own self. That is what we are trying to talk around. Workspace has changed a lot. Earlier when they were adding women, it has been where people would say, oh, so are you going to planning marriage soon? are you planning family soon? They would say in subtle words. Right now, yes, it is. I have been a personal example where I went to an organization and I told the promoters that I am going to be looking at, going a family way. So this job is challenging, but I assure you support. And they were like, oh, it's fantastic. Somebody who's so clear will help the organization grow. So it is also who you are coming across, who are the people you're meeting. I have been personally, I would say, a strong advocate that women or men, both, or any other gender, can take a break, can move around, can take a breather. It's not necessary you have to work round the clock because your body clock is like only it has so much of tendency and you need to just move around. No, it is not like that. You have to be very sure what are you going to be achieving. If your goals are clearly defined, then age, timing, these are just adjectives around. So they will not help you otherwise. So, yes, this workspace has changed. We at Green Cell have women working, in a mobility space. We are 10% with diverse population, which also includes third gender and people who don't want to disclose their gender. So we are okay with that also. And everybody is in a customer facing role consciously. We don't want to be that big MNC which is ticking off the diversity numbers, putting those women in either housekeeping or back end roles. We are here to provide an opportunity to express yourself. So maybe the numbers are not that huge like those organizations, but these numbers are meaningful because every woman with us or any other gender has a career with us. So irrespective of your gender, we are a gender equal organization. Everybody has a career with Green Cell.
Superb, superb. I think the way you articulated that actually speaks about the passion that you actually demonstrated within the organization and the way you are advocating for it. Amazing, amazing. I want to take two cues from the statement that you actually made. One, you touched upon break. Second, career. Now, these two are actually kind of two extremes for a woman. So, for example, yeah, because that's exactly
Yeah,
what
a
we
lot of
witness, right? Yeah, at every point of time, some of them take a break. It's because of their and then career, okay, fine. I actually want to take care of my children. I want to take care of, so therefore I have actually compromised on the career part. Now, of late, we are witnessing certain kind of a very different phenomena. Oh yeah, my wife is in the city working. I don't want to get changed.
yeah.
This is from men, which is actually happening. Are you witnessing those things,
Yeah.
Rajni? Any
Yes,
kind of
it
a,
is happening.
huh?
It's happening. And I'll tell you, it's a very interesting shift. It is a shift where we, as, our parents, as they were, nurturing us, as they were, kind of parenting us, they have, they've kind of brought in the fact that everybody does their own share. Everybody's sharing the load. And I think to that extent, yes, we also appreciate that. I would personally say that I am working for close to 20 years now. And, earlier my parents, now my spouse, they're very cognizant of the fact that they would not want to make any choice in their personal space without keeping me in loop.
Hmm.
So I'm not saying they would not make the choice, but at least I'm a part of decision making. So we've still moved a little way ahead. And yes, of course, there is a long way to go. But I think these small changes help because it's a change of mindset.
Yeah.
It's a change of acceptance. So, all these will come as and when the society is progressing, when we realize that what you are contributing to the welfare of the house, welfare of the country, welfare of that organization is all at equivalent to the other counterparts. So then, yes, of course, we do have a lot of young people who say that, my wife's doing this work and I do not want to change. And we are completely okay with that. In fact, in my previous organization, it was into education. I had started a whole concept of, service continuity. And at the end of before the end of the year, last fragment, I would say, or last part of the academic year, I would ask them, would you wish to continue? And they would say, my husband's getting transferred, this and that. So I use that leverage to, place them in different cities so that I don't lose that talent. So it can be a very progressive talent mapping exercise also. You just don't have to look at it like a social cause of, uplifting that poor mass and otherwise. But as far as you know what is the ROI coming on it, it was superb.
No, no, well said. I think one, a shift in mindset, and indirectly it is also having an impact towards the business part and also the personal
Yeah.
part. And when you're actually correlating with the ROI, yeah, it's wonderful because this kind of a mindset was not there some time back. This we are actually started witnessing it. Now, I have a very interesting question, Rajni. So today, manufacturing is actually seen as a industry where it was completely dominated by men. Now, EV space is actually changing it. For example, you take whether the two-wheeler manufacturers or four-wheeler manufacturers, more of women are actually deployed in the frontline assembly role. Now, are you finding that as a transformation that is actually happening in this particular domain? And since you're also now so somewhere related to the EV space directly, your thoughts around it, Rajni?
So, consciously, when I was making or I was designing the diversity charter, my first objective was to find in the skill space,
Hmm.
where do I have that talent, irrespective of the gender, but ensure that there is complete gender, if not an equilibrium, but at least a representation.
Hmm.
And so whether it is my battery, whether it is my supply chain, whether it is something as technical as contract manufacturing, I have women representing each division. The reason being, it comes with its own challenges, because see, our social ecosystem has not progressed so far, at the same pace as the caliber of these women have.
Hmm.
So it's still lagging behind. Where I have hired, we call drivers coach captains, and when I've hired women drivers, women coach captains for our buses, they've
Buses.
come back. They said that, ma'am, please try and give me don't give me an early morning shift. I have to make the bus. I'm not saying it's bad to make the bus. I make the bus at home
Right.
for, my child, my spouse, and the people who are there at home. But I'm not saying it's bad. What I'm saying is it's the prioritization. So
Right.
when you hire and when you see this movement, you have to be very, very empathetic to the find that, how are you handling it? You have to be sure that there is an extra in terms of either empathy, compensation, or even at times of alignment. There is a premium because you're changing, no? Change comes with a price. It will
Correct.
not happen just like that.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. What
But
you were
there is
saying is
some
right.
fabulous talent in the assembly line, let me tell you, which is in form of women and also my LGBT staff. Because I think, see, you need to also understand the biological way they are, so a trans woman is very strong, so you
Hmm.
have to understand that, that also will add a lot of value. So, when you are hiring them for an assembly line role, so
Right.
we've had, I think, one of the first women depot heads who was, running the depot all by herself with all men reporting. We've had uh, we've had people at, of a different, other than the routine lot, who would be saying, handling customer facing roles.
Hmm.
So there are people, you just have to spot that talent. Not necessarily everybody will do. You spot that talent, nurture that talent, let that get acceptance, and then move on.
Yeah. No, no, I think some of these things are the way you identify the talent and then you actually nurture them actually gives a result on a long run basis. It's not
Yeah.
only for the short term. And the one word caught my attention is the coach pilot. Okay, it's very interesting to see
Coach
people,
captain, yeah.
match captain, sorry, coach captains. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
coach captains. Very interesting because usually we are all, okay, fine. If I say, okay, a bus driver in a normal colloquial language, we are so biased that, okay, our thing is actually goes to a men. But okay, here comes a profession. In fact, that's the same thing that we are witnessing in even in the metro rail, right? So the metro rail
Yeah.
captains and the pilots, they are all, lot of
Yeah.
women have actually taken it over. Now,
Right.
when such a transformation is actually happening, see, there is a statement made by World Economic Forum. What they said, to achieve the full gender parity, it's going to take another 120 years. Now, in my view, while that's a statement made, maybe some researcher would have actually done research and then come to it. Obviously, they must have actually taken through a consensus of, okay, fine, there are certain industries which are growing. Maybe there are a lot of industries which requires have to be, which has to adopt this. Now, if we have to fast track this, Okay, maybe EV is a space, electronics is a space. When I say electronics manufacturing, EV, whether it could be actually a manufacturing or maybe a sales or a customer support or a frontline technicians, women have started actually getting into these roles. Now, in case if this parity has to be reduced and maybe if it has to fast track, Rajani, what are all your would be your thoughts to actually fast track on this particular piece, women entering more into the business space?
See, when we were increasing the numbers of our coach captains,
Yeah.
I'll start from the baseline where, so A is you should be willing to invest in training because you need to understand traditionally training was not there for them. So they may be semi-skilled or not so skilled, or it's got rusted because they were, doing it. They obviously had a motor vehicle license, but they have not used it, a heavy motor vehicle license. So she definitely had the caliber. So she got that heavy motor vehicle license, but she's not really used it. So, you have to invest in training. You need to understand that this kind of a sustainable model, more than profitable, has to be developmental. So yes, for a business, sustainable is profitable, but for an organization, for an institution, sustainable means development. So we have to move that expectation there. Third and very important is you have to see the pockets where there is that hunger for growth. Maybe you need to go to a tier 2 or tier 3 city and say that, I am here providing you with an opportunity because there the hunger for growth is very high.
Very high.
So
Yeah.
and their aptitude, their attitude, everything is very pro to your business and it will help you. Fourth and very important, they understand the nuances of safety well for my business. So because typically, it's that parental thing, no, don't touch this, you will get hurt. So that safety comes inherent. So it is easier to train them on safety. And for us, my business, safety is before revenue. So we are very sure it's safety first, then revenue. So at Green Cell, we are very strong advocates of that. So for us, it works well. Yes, of course, the cost of alignment. Now, also, I understand that not all organizations will have that scale of operation. So you
Right.
need to understand what's my pool for this year. How am I going to grow next and next? So at least a 3-year plan for talent per se working in this particular line should be there, not to clock the basic on your P&L, but beyond that. Are you really making that change? Then it has to be gender neutral and pay equal. If that be the case, then you are making a case for more people to come in. Even at times you will have to pay a little premium there, but it is okay because you are investing for an economy which will be more sustainable, developmental for years to come. So it also is that how responsible as an employer are you. You may not have very deep pockets, but then you operate with smaller numbers, but you do that impact because your impact on a smaller number is not necessarily a smaller impact because you've shown the way. When we
Yeah.
got people in battery, we showed the way.
Yeah.
So now a lot of other, women want to apply, they want to get trained with us and they want to learn it, they want to do it better and they do it very nice. Their critical, analytical bent of mind is, I would not say it is better than any other gender, but what I'm saying is they're definitely more critical when they are analyzing this particular thing because, like I said, the other 4 quotient behaviors will be so much high in them. So that would help to also encourage this workforce. You as an organization should decide what is your customer strategy. So for us, we said that our customer strategy will be around providing safe travel. We also want to look at you know we want to look at a lot of guest behavior, helping guests feel better while they are traveling. And mobility is the so mass mobility is not a space where without working on the inclusion you can actually do things. And plus your see, the external factors are also very important. So I may be operating on a particular route without naming a route where I know that the general tendency is a little notorious
Right.
of the guests. So how do I handle it without being abrasive, providing that safety cover to the women employee? So how do you schedule it? How do you roster it? They're
Right.
very no, small things. But when you fix that thing in your puzzle, it just comes out a little more clearer more than
Yeah.
beautiful. So it may not be very beautiful because the numbers are not making it look beautiful, but it's more clearer for
Yeah,
eye.
yeah. No, I think beautifully articulated. I think the first point on the sustainability part is very critical as an organization and as an employer. When you are actually when you're here for a long run, your investments, you treat everything as an investment. You don't expect
Yeah.
anything short run, but you actually go for a long run. And the way you actually spoke about the safety, that's so critical, because specifically when you're in a service industry, and that too in an industry where things, you have so many external factors actually influencing the decision. Maybe say, for example, if I'm a passenger and if there is a delay for 1 hour that has happened and I'm actually waiting in the next spot, you will find an irate passenger getting in, but he will
Yeah.
not understand what is that. And to handle that, the kind of coaching and the grooming that is required for them to handle, and that one incident will change the perspective. And
Right.
if I am a passenger, then, oh yeah, okay, okay, whatever it is, it's not their fault. So my loyalty towards the organization actually increases and I become a recurring passenger. Great points, well articulated, Rajni. Just one last question.
Sure.
The way you are so passionate, what would be your advice for the upcoming aspirants? Let's say, okay, somebody who's actually passing out and then looking for to establish themselves into a leadership role in the next 15 years, 20 years. What would be your advice on that for them?
So I strongly believe leaders are not just born, they get groomed with experience with time. This experience is not very it's not I would not say it is not specifically in terms of, just the number of years. This experience is the experiential learning which they gain over a period of time. So you need to learn and unlearn your experiences, and the minute you are ready to unload the baggage you have and you're ready to, upload or take over new learnings, you are all set. Second, and very important, specifically for women, don't be an echo. You need to find your voice. It is okay. You may not be heard first time, second time, but you do not at any given point of time show that you're weak enough. Because, see, it's the way our society is. A man shouting is expression, and a woman crying is weakness. So I always say that that's not how it is. You emote the way you emote. This gender emotes the way they emote, and it is nothing to do with gender. It is how each individual's emotional ecosystem is. As a person, if you ask me, I am not somebody who's who would cry if I'm hurt. I would go quiet, but there would be somebody who would be a little different. So that is there. Fourth, I would say very, very critical is find your own calling. You're all unique. Everybody is unique. And everybody is so blessed, unique, and has their own strength. So there is just no way anybody is, less better or less competent. Everybody has that magic strength. And I always keep telling, writing as a mindset coach also to people, we all have a magic strength. And that is why we are unique creations of this universe. Just tap on your uniqueness. Don't see what is lagging.
No, amazing. I think these are really, really encouraging and motivational words, because when you actually ask somebody to learn, unlearn, and then learn, that itself is actually okay, fine. Wherever you are, whatever you are, okay,
Yeah.
get down to it and then keep learning. The way you actually narrated about the emoting part, that's more fantastic, because there is a stereotype that is actually formed. Again, that's a bias. Oh yeah, if this gender is okay crying, they will get everything. Oh, this gender is on top of the voice. I actually know it's will break the stereotype. What comes on your way is actually the way how you actually take it up, and then that acceptance mode. And I think the way you actually summed up together and made it sound was fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rajini. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us. Really
Thank you.
enjoyed having this conversation with you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.